Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Been a minute. Been a minute. Let's get some people in this motherfucker, man. Let's get some folks in here. So, what we talking about today is what's going on with Diddy. Let's start with that first. He seemed to be the hot topic. He seemed like the hot topic. Yeah, my boy Self Made just did a whole live about that shit. There's a few things I said in that comment section that I wanted to elaborate on that I couldn't get a chance to elaborate on um, in his comment section. So I decided to come over here and elaborate on it. So what we have so far with Diddy, we got Casey testified. One of the oh another broad testified. I forget her name, but she was close to Casey and Diddy. Uh, she claimed that she saw some abuse. You know, Casey took off running. She helped Diddy go look for the bitch, bring her back. Uh, Somebody else testified and said that he witnessed abuse also. He saw Diddy throwing apples at the bitch, and that was his last and final straw. Him throwing apples at her. I don't know if he didn't. He never. It was never clarified whether he hit the bitch or missed the bitch. He just know the apples were flung at a high rate of speed in the direction of Casey. Casey testified. We said that already. Uh, the chick from, I believe, Vanity Kane, or one of them groups, she testified. Uh, Kid Cudi testified. And you got some dude named The Punisher came through and testified. It's just been a wild ride with this Diddy shit. So you could take all the testimony that the people gave so far to me with a grain of salt, because it seemed like everybody was down with it until they weren't um, invited anymore. They wasn't. Diddy didn't want them no more. Everybody's been ran through, served their time, served their purpose, and was left behind, or was not given the attention that they wanted to receive and moved on. So a lot of uh, bitter person mentality going on with this Diddy stuff. So that's what it looked like to me. Just seeing it for what it is and really listening to, what they're saying and digesting it the way they say it. Because it doesn't seem like it was that traumatic because any woman that's telling anything that happened traumatic in their life, they normally break down in tears. They show some emotion. They're not as matter of fact as Casey. To me, it seemed like her answers are very matter of fact. Um, it's not nothing that's too shocking to her or was just overwhelming to her because there was no emotion in her testimony. It was all matter of fact. It was all direct, almost as if she was in alignment with what was going on, and she was okay with it until she wasn't. All the back and forth as far as the arguments and abuse, to me, when I look at any relationship, there's always arguments. It's no matter how good of a person someone portray themselves to be, you've had an argument with your girl. Your girl know how to push your buttons. Your girl know you best. She know what you like. She know what you don't like. And most women, if they're honest, can contest to this also. Y'all know how to push y'all man buttons. And some of y'all don't stop pushing them buttons until you activate some activities. And I believe that's what was going on in those instances. I don't believe that he was just, you know, trying to force his will on her. I believe she was being difficult because she knew she could be, and she knew how to be, and she knew how to push that man button. And that, and you know, brought some rage out of it. It happens all the time in anybody relationship, and anyone that's honest with themselves can relate to that. So she tried to move on with the Kid Cudi nigga, or hide with the Kid Cudi nigga, or slide off, or stinky link, or she was being real deceptive and manipulative with Kid Cudi in that situation. I believe she wanted a break. She took that break. What up, said son? I believe she took that break. I don't think it was a runoff type of situation. I think she was always gonna leave and come back because she's done it, because that was a pattern. She always left and came back. She just wanted to do the things a woman wanted to do when she wanted to do something else outside of the things that her man wanted her to do. She pushed his buttons, got the reaction she wanted, so she could run off and do what she wanted to do. In the beginning, it's where you can kind of tell the mischief in the whole situation. Casey was with a whole nother dude that was getting money on an independent level. Wasn't rich as Diddy, but he had some money. He couldn't make her the star she wanted to be, or he wasn't um, as acclimated, or he wasn't as financially on top as Diddy. And she was in the same area he was in. Diddy known for getting at another nigga bitch. He saw something he liked. He had a bitch. So when they met, both of them were in relationships. So to me, both of them was on some bullshit trying to sneak around. They was on the same page. So how and I don't take Diddy for no lying nigga like he got a lie to get some pussy. He gonna tell. I'm quite sure he told her straight up what it was and what it was gonna be. and she was down with it, and she went. So she knew what she was doing. She just tried to give her, instead of being upfront with what she wanted and standing on that before she gave in, she tried to give the girlfriend experience, the experience of I'm the girl he's taking care of, I'm the girl in his life type of shit. When that wasn't the case, she didn't want to be the girl in his life. She just wanted the money. She just wanted the lifestyle. And that's cool, but she didn't know how to exactly say that or stand on that, and she ended up into a girlfriend boyfriend type of relationship with Diddy, and that ain't what she wanted. She wanted the freak offs. I believe she wanted those. She was down with them. If she wasn't down with them or there was too much, she could have been ran off. Casey is looking for the money on the back end that she should have got on the front end. To me, that's what all this shit about. If she had somebody in her life that was a little bit more knowledgeable how to take on that type of situation, I think she would have got her money first, and then she wouldn't have these, you know, ongoing issues or no, or Diddy won't be in no legal troubles that he in now if she'd have known how to get the money first. Young Miami knew how to get the money first, which is why you never heard her complain. That's my take on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's neat. It's whether you my take is based on whether you want to hear the hard truth or a soft lie. And right now, those are just the hard truth. Casey didn't know how to get the money up front. She thought that she was gonna get something on the back end of that shit, and there was never nothing gonna come from the back end because she caved on what she settled in the beginning. If she never settled, then she would have got what she wanted. But she wouldn't have to be chasing it on the back end or being jealous because she see what he's doing for someone else, because he does the same thing with all of his women. There was a woman there before Casey, during Casey, and after Casey. She was there the whole time. The Asian broad. It seemed like when people get these stories, it seems like they miss certain things, or just some things just, you know, get lost in the sauce of the bigger picture. But when you see the whole picture for what it is, you can see it from the beginning. And in the beginning is where you're going to see the intentions of both parties, in my opinion. You always got to revert back to the beginning. That same way with this Megan and Tory shit. If you resort back to the beginning, you can see that Megan ain't, she's a difficult bitch. She gonna always do what the fuck she wanna do. She don't care who she offends in doing what she wanna do, and she's gonna be the aggressor every time. So for people to think or go along with the narrative of Tory shooting this bitch is kind of it seemed like everybody just siding with the woman because that was the righteous thing to do or the most popular thing to do and the most sympathetic thing to do. And that's, you just have to sometimes hold these females accountable, because they'll always continue in the behavior patterns that's not conducive to righteousness as a woman. They're going to always think that whatever they do is right. They're going to always think that they can make excuses for the things that they do. And they'll never be, there will never be any consequence because there's always an excuse to back the bullshit. And you got niggas out here that'll be, you know, in full support of the bullshit. They in full support of it. And that's the wild shit. Like a nigga see a nigga hear this bitch tell a bold faced lie. And he's so attracted to her that he think agreeing with her will get him reserve him a spot between her legs. And that don't work out. Cause she knows she lying and she know you stupid because you believe in the lie. You're not even questioning nothing about her story. You're not even, you know, showing any sign of resistance. You just going along with the shit and you making it more, you giving her better excuses to use. And you're providing reinforcement to her bullshit because you're gonna be the dumb nigga to stand in front of another nigga that's telling her she wrong. And we both know how that'll get ugly. So it's a lot of niggas out here that'll just side with a female just because they want to be next to that female. They want to be under that female. They want to be with that female. And they'll disregard all the red flags. And then when they get with that female, they see how troublesome, how worse, and how much of a nothing she brings to the, the whole situation. And before long, you end up caught up and regretting, the stance you took. Because you'll start seeing why motherfuckers were saying what they were saying about you. When that man was taking that, saying that y'all was hating on her and y'all and trying to defend that bullshit, after a while he'll start to agree, like, damn, you is difficult. Because that lustful spirit will wear off. But by the time that happens, motherfucker be in too deep. And you start looking like a fool trying to separate from it. So some niggas stay because they don't want to look stupid. How long the niggas stay is depending on the person. But I knew from the jump, I knew Tory ain't shoot that bitch when they were saying, when I heard the story. Y'all at a party. No, let's back up. Versus Tory messing around with the friend, Kelsey. And so Meg's around. Meg started fucking Tory. So once she started fucking Tory, she territorial. So now she's bossing the situation around because she's a territorial type of chick. And she feel like she could do whatever she want to do with no punishment, with no regards. They go to a party. She feel as if Tory shouldn't be mingling or flirting, being as flirtatious as he is at this party with this white girl, because she feel as if this white girl is beneath her. But in reality, it's the other way around. She's beneath the white girl, and that's no, you know, black or white shit going on. That's just on a social status. That's a financial status. When she see Tori being too flirtatious, she go to bucking and get everybody put out the party. Tori never said he shot this bitch on that phone call. He was just apologizing for his actions of that night. What were those actions? Who the fuck knows? But it damn sure wasn't shooting Megan. Because in that car on the ride home, Megan told her friend, bitch, shut the fuck up. You don't tell me shit. And that's what kicked off the argument. This is this is what kicked off the fight. Megan a big bitch. Kelsey not that big. So I can imagine, and it's a pink gun, whether it's a 25 caliber or a 9 millimeter. Ain't no nigga toting around no pink ass gun. So we know that that's not his gun on the strength of that. Y'all tell me in the comment section, and I could be tripping, but I think I'm right. Ain't no nigga toting around no pink gun. It's just, if they are, it's just for show. It ain't for action. Nigga will. If I got a closet full of guns, I'm not grabbing a pink one to take with me. And that's on me. You know, I don't know no heterosexual man finna just right unless that's the only thing he got. He knee deep in some beef, and he got to keep this motherfucker. It's the only way a nigga just. But other than that, nigga ain't just got this as the total round strap. That's just what it is. I could be wrong, you know. I respect others' opinion. Let me know in the comment section. You see the video, what's on your mind about it. I could let me know. But to me, ain't no nigga toting around no motherfucking pink ass pistol. So miss me with that, man. There wasn't no gunpowder residue found on this nigga hands. So that's another dead giveaway that he wasn't the shooter. His print's not on the gun. His print's not on the clip. Another giveaway that he isn't. He never touched the gun. But when she said he shot her, everybody just flung to being sympathetic for the woman because the black woman is so unprotected and unrespected and neglected and all the other shit that they say when you get down to when you want to know the reason behind why men just kind of keep their distance with shit is because of how y'all conduct yourself. Can't nobody tell y'all shit. So if I see a nigga beating up a bitch, I can't involve myself because I don't know what that bitch did technically. And that ain't really my business. If they arguing out there and they go to fighting, that ain't my business. But in certain instances, if you riding and you see a nigga trying to like rape a broad, then yeah, if she, that's a different situation. You see a nigga trying to take some pussy, yeah, you gonna step in the middle of that. Nigga gonna be like, nigga, you trip. Nigga gonna trip. But far as some domestic shit, nigga ain't getting involved in that shit because we don't know what y'all did. Y'all already don't respect y'all already halfway want to, you know, project this. Y'all don't need a nigga energy. So we gonna give you what you want. But then we wrong for that. But y'all the one said y'all don't need a nigga. So let me bag up. But you got niggas that's just gonna jump out there for them. You know what I'm saying? And risk it all to throw it all away behind some shit they ain't gonna never get. Or if they lucky enough to get, Once they get it, they ain't even gonna want it no more. But you know, that's that's a whole nother subject and a whole nother topic. That's for Dr. Phil still. I'm gonna be dropping some content like that too. You know what I'm saying? To really just dive into the mentality and get an understanding of what people are mentally going through. You know what I'm saying? That create these situations. That's a lot deeper than some surface level bullshit that, you know what I'm saying, you see just on the top of things. You know, we take a deep dive in the shit. That's my forte. Then you got Skilla got shot. He popped back out at a concert before two Doug. That was some real shit. Um, Good that black man, that young man is alive, healing. You know, it didn't strike no fear in him, but I hope he, moving a lot safer now. I hope he got a bulletproof if he gonna stay in the city, at least ride around in that. So, safety is important. Safety should be your number one. Self preservation should be your number one investment when you're making money like that and you want to ride around and be seen in your own town, in your own city. Self preservation should be a must. That should be your number one investment because you are the number one cash cow. Uh, what else going on? What else going on? Okay, we're gonna get into Remy Ma Papoose. Remy Ma the worst kind of bitch. To me, in my opinion. They were when she was released from jail, from prison, and they were moving around together. They were the ideal or the poster couple for black love. The story was there. You know what I'm saying? It was a beautiful story of how um, woman get locked up, man, holds her down the whole 8 years. She was locked up. She got out into his arms, and you know they moved around together, showed love. Showed the love. Got married. Well, I think he married her in prison, and they were doing good for a while. But to me, in my opinion, anybody that gets out of prison should never dive into a serious relationship. That's my opinion. It's a lot of things you need to do to understand what's really going on out here, and that person that you running that's trying to latch on to you could be the person that inevitably run the things for you away from you, if that makes sense. Because you never know what's actually for you because you're trying to figure it out when you first get out of prison. You got a certain aura about yourself. You got a certain focus, and you don't need to be distracted with. You need to be focused on yourself and building yourself up, and really get a firm grip of what's going on out here in the world. You need to be able to see, but you need to be able to see clearly. You don't need to have your attention so focused on someone else or trying to. There's nothing wrong with being supportive of somebody or just being in a person's life. that just come out of prison. But you got to let that person be or evolve completely before before you try to hold position them into a relationship. Sometimes it's best just to be, a listening ear. You know, someone be the person that person can call and get some honest wisdom from or some honest words. You don't need to be trying to, because when you ask your significant other for advice or you talk to your significant other about a situation, for the most part, if it's a situation dealing with the opposite sex, they're gonna be apprehensive in the first place, off the rip, because you're talking about the opposite sex, and there's a they don't know if they could trust you or not. So there's a bit of a apprehensiveness. It's a bit of a insecurity because the trust isn't all the way there. So just coming out of a prison situation straight into a relationship is not always the best thing unless y'all was already married or y'all was already, you know, moving in the same path together before you get locked up. But even after you get out, you are a new person. You have a new direction, and you don't want nobody throwing your focus off. So, in my opinion, Remy should have never led Papoose to believe that the relationship and the marriage and the kids and the family thing is what she wanted. She Remy got some faggot ass bitch type of ways. Because instead of telling the truth about what she wanted, she lied, she manipulated, and she played victim. And that ain't that ain't what you if you want something healthy, that's not how you kick it off. The best thing you could do with yourself is be honest with yourself. If you can't be honest with yourself, then you destined for failure. And that's my take on that, man. She ain't got no whore, ain't no hoe in Remy. Remy is a faggot ass bitch that knew she didn't want to be in a relationship in the first place. But Pap was the one, you know, there. And being there all the time and being persistent gets you in there. But that don't mean that person is isolated. She only she's restricted to what's around her environment. That's it. So she's seeing you all the time and you always available and you always doing something. So okay, she will take a liking to it, but that don't mean she in love with it or wanna be with that person. That's there for her. Just be there for her. So Papoose did some, lame shit too. He shouldn't have never been trying to, push his way into her life because he didn't know, in jail you say all kind of shit. He should have knew that just being a nigga. That nigga tell this bitch whatever she want to hear to get whatever I need in this motherfucker. So women the same way. Prison make you like that. Prison give you the ability to have the time to think and pay attention. So did Remy know what she was doing? I believe so, wholeheartedly. And she somehow lost respect for Papoose and, started putting her bullshit on display. Cause she knew, she felt as if that nigga wasn't going nowhere and ain't nobody else want that. She felt like she had him defeated. But Pap bounced back. He did the right thing. He moved on. But in what he's doing now is what he shouldn't be doing. He shouldn't even be talking about it. He should just be moving on. Let that bitch be the bitch. Let her tell whatever lies she want to tell. All you got to do is show your truth. That's it, Pap. That's all you got to do is show who you are. You show us. You ain't got to tell us nothing. You ain't got to come out and, you know, try to debunk shit, lies she telling. We know this bitch lying. She hurt. She over there lonely with a nigga, with another nigga she don't even like. She with a nigga that she had to settle for. Because I don't think she really want that easy to block Captain nigga. It just something don't look right about him. Something ain't right with him. To me, I that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't pay attention. I ain't invested in what the fuck he got going on or what the fuck he doing. But just on appearance, and that could be, the interference that, you know, won't grant him clearance, for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him doing no hell of a nigga or spectacular type of shit. I don't even think he be winning the battles he be, battling. He be in. So that's just from what I see or from what I saw. Cause I ain't saw much, but just off of what came across my desk about the shit, I don't see him being no hell of a nigga. And that's just what that is. So yeah, she made a decision that's probably that crippled her. If it didn't cripple her, it's gonna cripple her. Cause, you know, looking at what she got, looking at her in the now, and looking at Papoose now, Papoose seemed like he happy. It just stopped going on the internet trying to debunk this bitch lies, because we already know she lying. She hurt. Clarissa's in way, you know, Clarissa upgrade. She's more attractive. She's more articulate. She more about her business. Um, it's a lot of things that's more there with Clarissa than it is with Remy. Remy just seemed like she don't really know what she doing. She just trying to do some shit because she got a name. In my opinion, she's just doing some shit because she got a name, and it's kind of pop a little bit because of her name. That battle league she own ain't hitting on shit. But that's just what I see. Maybe somebody that's invested some time in watching that shit and following along could fill me in. But to me, man, Remy ain't hitting no shit. But that's my take on this shit, y'all. Y'all get up with me, get in that comment section, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? We'll come back and talk about it some more. It's the spill. I'm out.